Hey, what is happening, muchachos? I'm over here in the park, man, getting that good vibes, dudes. Getting that good prana. But in truth, I didn't come here to make a picnic, man. I came here to make some gains. And I actually just finished a workout that I want to share with you peeps. And I worked out on my chest, dudes. Ooh, man, I can tell I'm going to be sore tomorrow. I know a lot of peeps, a lot of gym bros think that for you to make some serious gains and look aesthetic, that you need a gym. But if you've been watching the channel for a while now, you know that that ain't true. That you can actually build good, solid aesthetic muscle with just your own body weight. And today's workout, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get a big aesthetic chest with no gym. Ready? Let's go. Alright, muchachos, so we are back in the casa and I'm gonna explain the workout. But before I get into things, man, I know I said earlier in the park that you don't need a gym to make gains, and it's true, you don't. But you will make better gains if you had some equipment. And what I recommend is these bad boys right here. So you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm a huge fan and massive fan of rings, man, because these things can take your training to a whole new level. One, the stability of rings make things a lot more challenging. Two, they open up so many different variations that you can be doing. Plus, they're lightweight, you can carry them anywhere, and you can almost hang these things anywhere, man. And with some creativity, you can literally make the world your playing ground, or should I say, your training ground. But the biggest thing about rings is they're cheap. One pair of rings will usually cost about 1 month membership in the gym, and honestly these things are durable because my black ones, I've had those for 4 years with no issues. And these, I actually just copped these, man. They are brand new, and if you guys want to get some rings as well, click the link in the description box below to cop you some, man. Believe me, you won't regret it. But anyways guys, let's get into this workout. So the very first thing we're going to be doing, guys, is something called a Bulgarian dip. So with this, guys, you start with the regular support, and as you go down to the dip position, you flare out your elbows until about 90 degrees at the bottom and then push all the way back up. Now these, because you flare at the bottom, they put a lot more emphasis on your pecs, big time, man. Plus, they also have an added benefit of working those 3D shoulders, man. Look, check this out. What is this? Some side lateral raises, right? What does these work? The lateral head of the delts, right? But check this out. These look like Bulgarian dips, right? Aren't they working the same exact thing? So Bulgarian dips are great for overloading your side delts to give it that 3D delt look to look good in some tank tops. I gotta say, the Bulgarian dip is actually a more difficult version of a ring dip, and if you can't currently do a ring dip, I highly suggest you do that movement first. Master that first before you move on to this variation, because that is still also pretty effective for working out the chest. So with this, guys, we're going to use a variation that you can do for 8 reps, and we're going to do this for 4 sets of 8. So after doing some dips, we're then going to take this routine to the floor, and we're going to do something called a pike press. Now this works your shoulders, your triceps, and your upper chest. And with this, you start in the downward dog position, but you want to bring your feet as close to your hands as possible, and you want to make sure that you're leaning forward as you're pushing. I must iterate this, guys. You have to lean forward. This is going to put a lot more stress on your shoulders and your upper chest, and hence make this exercise a lot more effective. If the pike press is too easy for you and you find that you can do way more than 8 reps consistently, I suggest you level things up. And to do this, all you need to do is elevate your feet, and you can do this with something like a bench. Now when your feet are elevated and you're doing a pike press, you're actually pressing more of your body weight, hence advancing the movement, making it more difficult, and also putting more stress on the chest and shoulders. So pick a variation that suits your current skill level, and we're going to do this for 4 sets of 8. So after that, it's now time to do some more isolation work. So a very good way to isolate the pecs is by doing flies. Bodybuilders love this by doing dumbbell flies, but since we ain't using weights, we're gonna use the rings and we're gonna use something called a ring chest fly. Now, to make this movement easier, you can do this by having the rings further away from the ground and your body more vertical and then flying, or you can have the rings closer to the ground and your body more horizontal and then perform the movement. A middle ground is to have the rings down to the floor and with your knees on the ground, praying for them gains, and then you proceed to start the movement. So with this, you want to pick a body position that will allow you to do no more than 12 reps, guys. But once you're doing the exercise, you want to be very wary of technique. This is super important. A big mistake I see a lot of people make when they're doing the flies is when they get to the bottom position, they end up bending their elbows and then they're now just doing a regular ring push-up. That's not what we want. You want to isolate just the pecs, and for that you need to fly. Now, how you do a fly is you retract your shoulder blades, big chest, and you want to imagine like you're hugging a tree, or think like you're hugging a really thick chick, right? Whichever one works better for you. So remember, guys, hug the thick girl, all right? Keep that chest big, and once you get to the top, really squeeze those pecs. But be careful. Do not lose the retraction of the scapula. Don't become like this, because once your shoulders come forward, you're no longer working your chest and you're gonna be working your shoulders. So with this, peeps, you wanna pick a body position that allows you to do this exercise effectively with the right technique, and we're gonna be doing this for 3 sets of 12. So next up, we have a push-up variation that's going to be very peculiar. So this is something called a half Pelican push-up. Now with this, you have the rings high up, your body's almost vertical, then you lower yourself to the bottom of a regular ring push-up, but instead of stopping there, you go even further. You go deeper as you can, and then you push all the way back up. Now, when you go deep into the push-up, be very careful. Don't lock out your elbows. You want to keep them at least half bent, because this is going to put a lot of emphasis on your biceps and a lot of emphasis on your chest, because you're going to get that really, really deep stretch. And I have to warn you guys, you want to start vertical. Don't let your ego get in the way and start horizontal. If it's the very first time you ever done a movement like this, you probably don't have the strength required to do it on a horizontal plane. Start vertical, and as you get stronger, you can get more horizontal. So for the half Pelican push-up, we're going to do this for 3 sets of 8. So peeps, we now reached the final exercise of this routine, and this is something called an archer push-up. Now, this is going to prepare you for a 1-arm push-up, and it's very interesting because one arm is pushing while one arm is flying. Now, just like other push-up variations, the more vertical you are, the easier it is, and the more horizontal you are, the harder the movement is. But one thing you really want to pay attention to is the arm that is flying. You want to keep it as straight as possible. Try and resist the urge of using that other arm to assist you. So, a beautiful thing about the archer push-up is you can choose what you want to emphasize more on. If you want to emphasize more on pushing, you'll really focus more on the arm that's bent. If you want to focus more on getting that isolation, that contraction, you focus more on the arm that is straight. Because this is the last exercise of the day, we're going to do this for as many reps as possible. And if you're totally gassed, you can actually do this exercise on the floor as well. So remember, peeps, this is the last exercise. So we're going to go all out, and we're going to do this for 3 sets of max, as many reps as you can. Alright guys, so that's the end of the workout. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You got some new ideas. I would like for you guys to do the entire routine as a whole, but you can also pick little segments and add it into your next chest day. Believe me, you're gonna love it. So with that, guys, if you like this video, you guys know what to do. Go ahead and give this one a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, yo, go ahead and subscribe, dudes and dudettes. Always remember this, always strive to improve, even if it's just a little, each and every single day. Kaizen. See you guys in the next video, the day after next at 7 a.m. PST. Peace!